Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Gebo the Shaman, and today we are talking about Venus in Sagittarius in the third house for Libra Ascendant. So, as some of you know, Venus is the lord of Libra, or it's called the Lagnesh, and in Vedic astrology, we call this the Lagnesh, and so just FYI, I am using the Vedic astrology positions for the planets and things like that. So I am a Vedic astrologer. So if that's so I would encourage you to look at your Vedic astrology chart to make sure that it's in alignment with what I'm teaching here. So I'll make basically I'm making the Lagnesh series for all the planets. So anyway, let's get into it. So Venus is the ruler of your first house. That means, or your ascendant, your rising sign, your Lagna, your first house. Those are all the different terms for the same thing, pretty much. So this is your ascendant, your rising sign. And in Vedic astrology, we use the rising sign as the sign of your birth, your zodiac sign, essentially. So, basically, we use that, and so it's very important to look at where your Venus is placed, because your Venus is the planet that rules your ascendant. So it plays a very critical role in how you see the world, the lens through which you see the world, and your personality and things like that. So yeah, it's a very important planet. Alright, so before we get into all the good stuff, just like to let you guys know that I am a Vedic astrologer. I do Vedic astrology readings professionally. So if you'd like a personalized astrology reading from me, then you can go to my website, gebotheshaman.com, and purchase a reading there. And by the way, I've gotten questions from clients saying that they don't see where to put the birth information in. Don't worry about that. You'll get a email after you purchase the consultation, the astrology consultation. You'll get an email asking you to give your birth details in the email. So, alright, so let's get into Sagittarius in the third house. Venus in Sagittarius in the third house. So, what is the third house? The third house is the house of communication, the house of teaching. Well, not that. The house of third house is communication. It's our strength. It's our willpower, our courage, our self-esteem, things like that. Third house is the house of siblings, the house of especially younger siblings, the house of working with our hands, doing, manual labor, communication, writing, making art, doing things with our hands creatively, and things like that. So, alright, so then we have, what do we have? So then we have Sagittarius here. So Sagittarius in the third house. So Sagittarius in the third house, well, Sagittarius is all about teaching. It's all about creativity. I should say third house is more creative, and Venus is very creative. Sagittarius is all about religion, philosophy, higher education, teaching. It's your mentors, your gurus, this is your mentors, your gurus, your teachers, and people who teach you things and help you grow and learn new things and stuff like that. So Sagittarius is all about teaching, preaching, religion, philosophy, spirituality, higher education, things like that. And so you have this in the third house. So basically, Sagittarius in the third house loves to communicate. It loves to communicate with a large group of people. Loves to, talk and preach, and you really get into philosophy and things like that. So very much a teacher, very much into discussions about philosophy, using that critical thinking, using that that higher mind, looking at things from reason and using logic and things like that. So then we have Venus here. So Venus in Sagittarius in the third. So Venus in Sagittarius in the third house. Well, let's talk about what Venus means. So Venus is the planet of art, beauty, sexuality, relationships, desires, having your desires met. Really, it's all about materialistic pleasure, art, beauty, romance, sex. It's about like a lot of just like having the material needs met. And Shukra is all about defending us and protecting us from anything that would try to take away our, anything that we love and things like that. And so, yeah, it's Venus. I mean, it's one of those planets that I'm personally just like, yeah, that's that, but no, it really does help with material pleasure, and just because, like, nourishment too. Because when you have your material needs met, your security needs met, and things like that, your like financial security and stuff, when you have all those things met, that frees you up to actually go pursue your spirituality. So that way you're not worrying about your physical stuff going on, like, having to pay the rent and things like that. You're freed up to be, pursuing your spirituality full time, when those things are met. So, I kind of give it a bad rap, but it's it's actually, one of the best, planets for helping us, experience this material life and learn from it and grow from it. And so Venus gives us, a bunch of good things. So what happens when Venus is in here, in Sagittarius, in the third house? So, Venus in Sagittarius in the third, you'll notice that it's 6th house from the 8th house. So if you go to the 8th house and you count 6 houses away from it, it's, what is it? 6 from the 8th? Yeah, I think so. But yeah, or 8th from, I don't know, 8th from the 8th? Anyway, but yeah, so this it gives a little bit of a hard time, like, because the 8th house is very much into, like, it's into, kind of screwing with you a little bit, like having transformations, changes, sudden ups and downs, sudden gains and losses, and things like that. So I think I was trying to say it's 8th from the 8th. So it is, this is just a, yeah, it's, it affects Venus. So, but looking at the 8th house, we have Taurus here in the 8th. So that's another sign ruled by Venus. So it's a good position there. It's not too like cumbersome where it's like, you'll be, severely depressed or anything like that. But you might be affected a little bit when those, sudden changes happen. You get fired or, lose a spouse or things like that. So Venus in Sagittarius, one of the things about this is that Venus in Sagittarius is very, very happy, very communicative, very, she loves, even if you're a guy with this position or a girl with this position, you'll like talking about philosophy, spirituality, even higher education, like learning. If you're a guy with this position, you'll be into a girl that can kind of teach you things, teach you new things, and things like that. Like it's like your spouse or your girlfriend or whatever will be very educated, very into like higher learning, spirituality, things like that, and she'll love to talk about it. So, and if you're one of these people who's a female with this placement, it shows that you have a love, a passion for spirituality, for philosophy, and just kind of talking about that. Like Sagittarius in the 3rd house with Venus here is a love for, like a need to communicate, a love for communicating with people and discussing their philosophies on life and things like that. It's like very much like Jordan Peterson or something like that, someone like that who's very much into those subjects and things like that. So if you have this placement, that means that you could have a very strong desire for spiritual awakening, spiritual enlightenment, things like that. So this means that your Kundalini could, you can have very, very good luck with Kundalini awakening. So if Kundalini also is about maturity, it's about maturity, psychological maturity, and it's, so when you actually activate your Kundalini, it's actually, teaching you new things and maturing you and getting you to grow and outgrow your, childish or immature beliefs and things like that, and stuff like that. So, yeah. So again, like Sagittarius in the 3rd house, talking, communicating about spirituality and things like that, and Venus here, you would have, let's say if you had Mars here, Mars in Sagittarius in the 3rd house would be a preacher, a fiery preacher, who would give orders and give directions and tell people, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to believe. That's, not good. So Venus, on the other hand, it shows people, hey, this is what is right. This is what is the truth. This is what has value to believe, and things like that. Venus is all about truth and value and things like that. So yeah, but Venus would go about it in a very soft and gentle way. Venus would kind of, massage your feet and talk to you about this or that, and kind of get you to like come around to their side through the art of kind of charm, or seduction, things like that. Charm, using charisma, things like that. And then of course we have, what else is there to talk about with this one? So yeah, shows a, like, third house is all about the hands. So you you might have some sort of you might like use your hands to do something with creativity, or like teaching. You might you might talk with your hands, or like when you're teaching, you might use your hands a lot in your communication and things like that. So anyway, guys, so so Venus is the karka of marriage. So I would highly recommend, if you are a woman, look where your Jupiter is placed, because Jupiter is the karka of marriage for women, and Venus is sitting in Jupiter's sign, Sagittarius. So, then we have, so for men, it would be the Venus placement. So look at your Venus, it's in Sagittarius in the third house. So I kind of described a little bit about your partner and how she would be. So yeah, you could also look at where your Mars is placed, and look at the relationship between Venus and Mars. Mars is the lord of your 7th house. So, and it's interesting having this kind of dynamic with Libra, because Libra is ruled by Venus, and if it's a Libra man, it shows very like gentle person. Of course, this is this depends on so much stuff in the chart, but generally it shows a very gentle and balanced person. Very, it could take on the qualities of being more feminine. Of course, that's not necessarily a bad thing, or like always doesn't mean that you're gonna act like a girl. But yeah, you have Mars ruling your 7th house, so that means that your partner is going to be more aggressive and masculine, where you'll be more surrendering and submitting and things like that, and trying to keep peace and things like that. So anyway, guys, so yeah, that's about it for me for today. So if you are interested in purchasing a Vedic astrology reading, I would highly recommend that you go to gebotheshaman.com, and I have Vedic astrology readings. I have career readings, relationship readings. I have my astrology certification course there. The astrology certification course, by the way, is a great course that takes you through all the things that you need to know in order to be a certified Vedic astrologer. And when you purchase that course and you take my certification exam, I will give you your very own website to get clients of your own. You can promote it on social media. You can do whatever you want with it, pretty much. And yeah, so highly recommend that as well. And when you purchase that, I will when you get your website and take your test and all that, I will promote you on the channel so you can start getting clients. Alright, and also we have my birth time rectification service, so you can check that out. If you don't know your exact birth time, like in Vedic astrology, we use divisional charts, which the D60 changes every 2 minutes, so if you don't have your birth time exactly right, it's very, it can be very damaging and like change your chart a lot, so you don't exactly know what's going on. So even, you might get even inaccurate predictions and things like that from different astrologers and stuff. So yeah, anyway, then we have the Qigong courses. So this is something that I use on a daily basis to transform my energy in my body and bring it up to the next level. In fact, I was talking about Kundalini awakening earlier in this recording. So if you want to experience a Kundalini awakening, then I would highly recommend you check out this course. You can get both of these courses for a bundle deal, but this course has the Kundalini yoga, Qigong, and meditations, and it has a lot of people think that Qigong is just energy work, but my kind of form of Qigong is actually working with the heart center, and it's opening up that heart center energy, and that is an infinite energy. So once you open that and tap into it, it just releases and flows through your body, and all kinds of amazing things happen for you. So I would highly recommend that course, as well as I have my Cosmic Qigong course here, which is just a basic, it's a pretty good Qigong course. It's meant to take you through, all the way from beginner to, like pretty good, being pretty educated on Qigong. So highly recommend that one. And then we have the rune readings. So I have what's called a 9-world rune reading that I do, and basically it's geared towards helping you understand what your current sorry, my dog is going crazy, but it's geared to helping you understand what your current conscious experience is, what's going on in your immediate experience and environment, and what is soon to come, what you are manifesting, what's soon to come, what your hopes and wishes are, what your identity is, and any identity crisis or problems that we see through the runes, and advice on that. And then it gives you actions to take, and tells you about what actions you're taking. And then we have the what's in your unconscious mind and what you're not aware of in this situation. And then we have it talks about also your relationships. So relationships and what's going on with that potential relationship problems and things like that. And we have the final thing that it talks about is your advice from your higher self, your ascended masters and things like that. So it's a great rune reading. You should check it out. And yeah, then we have the career coaching and life coaching. So if you are not sure what to do in life, you're just not sure what to do in terms of your career, I would highly recommend that you check out the career coaching session with me. Basically, I will, we'll go on a short guided meditation and we'll figure out what your ideal career is based on going into the unconscious mind and digging around for stuff. And I can pull out your ideal career from you and I can show that to you, but unfortunately, like, we can know what we want to do in life, but one thing I can't do is actually get you there. I can't take the action for you, so that's what you're going to have to do for yourself. And then we have the emotional awareness course, also called the trauma healing course. I'm trying to work on that course a little bit, but I have so much on my plate recently, it's just crazy. So then we have the distance energy healing. So we have distance energy healing, which is basically a healing session with me. And when you do that, like, I'll spend an hour working on you energetically. Can't talk today. But yeah, a lot of people think that's for just for, physical healing or, healing any pain or things like that. And it is, but it's also for, and primarily for, the emotional part of that. It's for the emotional pain, the things that we've hidden and suppressed and kept in our unconscious and just pushed down. Those things are emotions, those things, they have to come out somewhere. They have to come out some way. And so if you're not consciously dealing with them and letting them out, they're going to manifest as sickness, illness, things like that. And once again, for YouTube, I am not a doctor. But this is my opinion. These are just my opinions, and that's it. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and we will talk to you next time. Peace.